Remarkable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And fuck our champions!
Good on Pepe! Goal! It doesn't get any better than that!
Hello everyone, welcome to the Game in Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt with JP Zuccato on camera, and it's potentially decision day in the American Premier Soccer League Metropolitan Division title race. The Pancyprian Freedoms can lift their second APSL League title with victory this afternoon. They're up here at Travers Island against Nyack, who are still not entirely safe from relegation. If we have a look at the table, we'll start at the top. You can see the Pancyprians with their lead over the Greeks with 2 games remaining. Just need 3 points to guarantee the league. Anything less and Lansdowne can spoil the Pancyprians' party on the final day. Lansdowne are themselves now out of the title race after drawing against Zoom Snyder yesterday evening. The Greeks will play Richmond County away at 8 p.m. tonight. We'll have that on Game in Frame as well. And that is not a trip the Greeks can take for granted, but if they win both their games, provided the Pancyprians slip up today, they could still lift the league title on the final day. But the Pancyprians are coming into this game in such good form, unbeaten in the league in the spring half of the season. 13 points out of their last 5 games. In total this spring, in fact, they've dropped only 4 points. Compare that with a year ago spring, they dropped 13. So that's just how much better this season has been for them. They have rarely blinked. Can they hold their nerve to see this one over the line? And on paper, certainly, they are heavy favourites against Nyack, who, other than an opening day victory against the Greek Americans, have a very poor record against teams in the top 4. Indeed, almost all of Nyack's points this season have come against the bottom 5, which from the relegation battle perspective, of course, has been important for them. If we just really quickly have a look as well at the table for Nyack's mathematics on relegation. After Kids Super lost last night, that meant that Nyack can no longer go down as the bottom teams. They're safe from automatic relegation. That's because Kids Super and Doxa play on the final day, and because of some of the head-to-heads that Nyack have. However, they are still not entirely safe from that relegation playoff spot, which is the 11th place team. That gets activated if 2 or more teams from the CSL, Garden State League and Long Island Soccer League decide to promote. Again, those teams have to be the regular season winners, but if that happened, if 2 or more of those 3 teams decide to go up, then 11th place team would have to play a playoff to stay in the division. And the starting 11 that we're expecting for the Pancyprians, it's an interesting change of system. Coach Kronis is going to go with a 3-5-2, and I asked him what the thinking was behind that, because normally they start with the 4-3-3. He said he really just wants to take the game to Nyack early on. They want numbers in their half as quickly as possible. They don't want to give them any time on the ball, and at the same time, when they have it, they want to be able to quickly transition up into the attacking areas. Because obviously, quite often, teams are sitting very deep against the Pancyprians, and a lot of the game, the Pancyprians can just end up sort of playing in front of the low block. Let's see how it works for them. The lineup that they're going to have to do that, of course, Josh Levine in goal, Jens Hoff, the big Norwegian, in the centre of defence, Jack Sloy's left centre-back, Dylan Woods right centre-back, Sebastian Ruiz will be the right winger, and Dennis Calmende, who's been very impressive since signing for the Pancyprians this season, will be on the left wing. Luis Argudo and Joe Holland will be in the centre midfield. Jordan Bailon just behind them as the defensive shield. And the front line will be James Tristino and Junior Rosero, who's coming off of a brace from Thursday night. And for Nyack, we have some idea of the squad, but there has been some late changes. We've got Peter Wenzel in goal, Curtis Oudberg at defence. And then we believe that the rest is going to be, again, there might just be one or two changes because I think a few players maybe showed up late, but Kevin Davis alongside Curtis Oudberg at centre-back, Nate Frank at right-back, Jake Mann at left-back, Nika Zuma and Jack Mohair in front of that back four, Jack Duran in the defensive midfield, new signing Enrique Montana on the left wing, and then believe it's going to be Matthew Contino as centre forwards and Chris Huicon on the right wing, but we'll just see those two late additions to the starting lineup. We were expecting Stefanos Hondrakis and Scott Enman, but Hondrakis is actually going to start on the bench, and I'm not sure if Enman after all will be here. Well, it is a picture perfect afternoon at Travers Island. It could be a picture perfect day for the Pancyprian Freedoms. Victory, and they win their second APSL Metropolitan League title. And actually, I think we might have one more change for Nyack as well. It looks like Tremaine Bryan is going to be in the squad. So we'll just see where he ends up lining up. And as always, guys, today's broadcast is brought to you by Salt Athletic, who made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag, and also fit shin guards. Blocks odour with antimicrobial technology and also magnetically seals, making for odour-free car rides and homes. And they're offering the Game and Frame community an exclusive 10% discount. Scan the QR code, add an air case to your cart, and get 10% off. A big thank you to Salt Athletic for supporting Game and Frame in the 24-25 season. It's quite warm if you're out in the sun today. Probably about 75, maybe a little bit more. In the shade, still beautiful, cold, cool temperature. So it does appear that it is Matthew Contino who will be starting at the centre forward position as expected. And Tremaine Bryan will be on that right wing. Junior Rosero will kick us off here. A golden opportunity for one of America's most historic clubs to add another page to the history book, another trophy to the cabinet. They do not come easy, APSL Metropolitan League titles, and this has definitely been the toughest season yet in terms of division competition. Rarely an easy game these days. Across 20 matches so far, the Pancyprians have been near flawless, and they're now on the precipice of a magnificent achievement. Can they see it over the finish line? James Tristino turning early, give and go, and Tristino took the shot. Nicely worked with Junior Rosero. Comfortable early save for Peter Wenzel, and he's a big man, Wenzel. We've seen him make some really super saves this season. He's definitely going to be an April Save of the Month contender. That's going to be coming out next Friday. It's going to be a busy man, you'd imagine. this afternoon. Bit of space here for a zoomer. Positive from the centre midfielder, but well over the crossbar. Jack Mulhare wearing the captain's armband for New York Athletic Club this afternoon, transferred over from Lansdowne in the midway point of the season. I believe he mainly played in the back four for Lansdowne. Had a few very memorable duels with Sebastian Ruiz. And Ruiz was wearing both a Pancyprian shirt and a Renegade shirt. Luis Argudo, Tristino, who's on 14 goals this season, joint top scorer for the Pancyprians in the league with Joe Holland. And has been maybe his best campaign yet in a blue shirt. Junior Rosero, little poke by Frank. Argudo sets it back to Jack Sloys. Hoff. Dennis Calmendi, who's got such a sweet delivery with that left foot, and he's going to try and drive down to the byline. And he earns the first corner kick of the afternoon. Joe Holland to deliver back in the starting lineup. Holland, he played the latter part of Thursday night, nursing a little health issue, as that stink towards the far post floated in towards Calmendi. Mulhare gets the head on it. Balon will keep it alive for the Pancyprians. Argudo. Jack Sloys. Probably been the most regular feature in this Pancyprian starting 11. That centre-back. Jordan Balon drills it in, searching for Tristino. Nyack will have a bit of possession. Montana. Mulhare. Kevin Davis sporting the lime green boots, and he does well to work that out to Jake Mann. He's a long-time New York Athletic player dating back to their CSR Division 1 games. Balon. Back to Hoff. Pancyprians have had almost all of the ball in these opening moments, as is often the case. Calmendi. Junior Rosero. Argudo. Switching it on a penny for Sebastian Ruiz, who can have a go at man. Instead, he puts into Joe Holland across 6-yard box. Simple as that. James Tristino taps in the opener for the Pancyprian Freedoms. Just past the 5-minute mark. Beautiful build-up by the Pancyprians, slicing and dicing Nyack's defence. James Tristino with number 15 on the season in the league. It might be his most important goal yet for the Pancyprians. Perhaps some debate for offside. I think Nyack would certainly like to watch it back. Look tight, but the Pancyprians won't mind one bit. They have the lead, a lead that will win them the league title. Luis Argudo. Tristino. Nyack a little short at the back. It's a really well-timed tackle by Oberg. Not such a good clearance. Calmendi. Well, that's a huge weight, I think, off the Pancyprian shoulders just to get that goal early. When they won the title in 2023, they played a very memorable game against Lansdowne, and Lansdowne went down to 10 early. Danso getting 2 yellows for quick fouls on Joe Holland. But Lansdowne really defended like lions for the next 70 minutes. And the Pancyprians didn't find their goal until about 10 minutes were remaining. It was a nerve-jangling game. But this time they have their breakthrough early. And whatever Nyack's game plan was, it's going to have to change now. Azuma, slightly too heavy in his return pass to Duran. Comendi bending it down the line. Big head by Odeberg. Frank, well, the pass was there. Not the easiest to execute, and he just slightly sliced across that ball as he looked to find Matt Contino. Sebastian Ruiz deserves a lot of credit in the build-up to that goal. So often we see him in the positions that he received it out wide, just taking players on 1v1, but instead he just went for that quick first-time pass to Joe Holland, which caught Nyack's defence flat-footed and gave them the overload of that back post for Tristino. Hoff. Too much on his pass for Junior Rosero, who enjoyed a good evening on Thursday. Got a brace, took both goals very well. Dylan Woods. Ruiz. That's a clever ball. Dylan Woods. Just too many red shirts to try and thread it through. Hoburg with the block, another corner kick. But again, the Pancyprians finding space down that right side.
Come on, man. This guy's offside, man. What are we doing? Every game. Ref, you missed one big, man. That's offside. 2 feet. Jeez Louise, man. Off the shot. He's off.
Calmende is going to whip it in. And you can hear, perhaps you can hear the Nyack coach, Vasilios, employing some game and frame VAR. I haven't watched it back yet, but he certainly feels as if it was quite clearly offside. Sure, some of you have already winded it back and know the answer better than me. Jack Slow is bringing that down with great poise. Balon. They're looking directly to that right wing all the time. Tristino has got that ball just about. Ruiz supporting. Woods. Ruiz stepped on the ball. Surprised everyone. Kept it though. Rosero. I think he was probably trying to help down to Argudo. Not too much on it. I think Coach Cronish will be delighted with how Pancyprians have started in these first 10 or so minutes and how the 3-5-2 has worked. They really have overloaded Nyack a few times already with the numbers up there. Switched out to Brian. Couldn't outfox Calmende. Rosero, there's a massive gap for Tristino to exploit. The pass just too heavy from Rosero. A huge gap there in Nayak's back line. They cannot afford to do that. Contino, another Nayak veteran. Driven out by Doran to Brian. Can he beat Kamendi this time? He does. Dink towards the far post. Contino tried to hook it back in. Came off of Balon. And hoofed clear by Balon. Tristino brings down expertly. Ruiz. Argudo. Joe Holland. Decent gust of wind, you can probably hear it. Blowing to the east, so across the field, not really favouring either side particularly. Switched up to Dennis Calmende. Whips it in towards Rosero over his head. Montana. Contino. Returns it to Montana. Not a lot in the area at the moment for Enrique Montana. And Hoff contained the danger well. Argudo. Joe Holland. Nice midfield, a little sluggish to come back here. Joe Holland slicing into Rosero. Junior Rosero onto his left foot. Rosero did everything right except for the finish. Leant back and skied it. But I think it's got to be massive concern for Nayak with how easy their midfield is being bypassed at the moment. You can't let Joe Holland run at your back line like that. He will find the pass invariably. Calmende. Good combative defending by Bryant. Doran. Frank. Doran. They haven't been bad on the ball so far, Nayak. No penetration yet, but they are using the full width of the Travers Island field, which is significant, and they've played well out of the press there, but that was a poor ball by Mohair. Jens Hoff. Good ball to Calmende, who cuts inside Frank. Argudo. Again, the Pancyprians continue to really stretch Nayak with these wing backs. There's the other one, Sebastian Ruiz. Rosero returns it to Ruiz. Slightly too heavy for the speedy Colombian. Dylan Woods. I commented on it on Thursday night. A lot of Spanish speakers in the Pancyprian squad this season. Had a few already with Woods, Rosero and Ruiz, but then they've added a bunch more. Moreno on the bench, Ablanedo, Herrera, and there's Argudo. Jens Hoff switch, asking just a little bit too much there of Dennis Calmende. Argudo gets a poked. Oberg was alert to it. Montana. Frank. Argudo winning it back from Bryant. The ball makes its way to James Tristino. And he looks towards Junior Rosero. That's a useful ball. Rosero just hesitated a second. I think he didn't expect that bounce to skip off the turf as it did, and also didn't factor on Peter Wenzel being very quick off his line. The ball looked near inch perfect from Tristino. Got a bit of backlift on it, backspin. Hoff. Kamendi right in the corner. And he'll be happy to win another corner kick for the visitors. Argudo, lots of pace on it. Wenzel got a big punch. Montana brings it out for Nayak. Moher. Jake Mann switches it to Odeberg. Went under a little bit of pressure and stretching. Did well with it, the keeper, found Montana. Moher. Jake Mann. Gave that ball straight to Dylan Woods. With today's goal, the Pancyprians have now scored in all 21 of their league games. And they're their top scorers in the league at the moment on 67. The Greeks who play tonight are on 65. Floated towards Luis Argudo. And if the Pancyprians do win this afternoon, it could also have a ripple effect on the relegation battle, because it will effectively render the Greeks' game this evening against Richmond meaningless from a Greeks perspective, because second seed plays third in the playoffs, and the Greeks and Lansdowne will be guaranteed to finish second and third either way. Who's for Richmond County that would be? Here's James Tristino skipping past Odeberg. Really good recovering run by Kevin Davis. He had to gamble, and Rosero for a second was behind him all by himself, but cut the passing lane and then dispossessed Tristino. That's an awful switch. Tristino will pick it up. Good recovery by Brian, who took no prisoners with that tackle. But got the ball fairly. A little bit of a swing of the arm in there too. Montana. Cutting inside. Azuma. Hoff intercepts. They have to give Knight credit. They really are trying to play when they have the ball. They're showing confidence on it. Sebastian Ruiz down the other end. It'll be yet another corner kick. I believe that's number 4 already before we've even hit 25 minutes. Tristino and Brian are going to be called over by the referee. Still some afters from that tackle. Brian putting on Tristino. Kamendi will send in the corner kick. That's a dangerous whip, but too close to Wenzel, who gathers comfortably. Mohair. Man down the channel to Montana. Hobug. Passing lane's just getting a little closed down for Nayak and Wenzel, and then having to hoof it clear. That looked like a handball by Doran, and no complaints from him as the whistle was blown. Dylan Woods. Jack Sloyes being invited forwards. Kamende whips it in. That's a useful ball. Junior Azero ghosting in. And Joe Holland retrieving. James Tristino. And Joe Holland blocked by Azuma. Precarious moment in the 6-yard box and the penalty area for Nike. That initial cross, Holland wasn't far away from connecting. And then Kevin Davis wasn't aware Rosero's behind him, and Rosero very nearly got a finishing touch. And then the rebounds were a hairy moment too. This man Kamende starting all the danger. Rosero. His pass back to Agudo, not quite on the mark. Brian. Jordan Balon gives it back to Josh Levine. Woods. Gives it back from Sebastian Ruiz. Tristino. Woods on the channel. Sarah couldn't get under his belt. Nyack are the lowest scorers in the division this season. 26 goals in 20 games. Their defence has been not terrible though, in the top half of the table in terms of goals conceded. But you do feel if the Pancyprians can find a second goal, it would put this beyond Nyack's reach. Balon. Kalmende. Joe Holland. Rosero. He's able to turn his man. Junior Rosero lines up. Not his cleanest strike. But you've always got a chance from that distance when you're Junior Rosero. Excellent ball out by Frank. Doran. Contino. Jake Mann. Azuma. Contino. He's found... Well, I thought he was going to find Jack Duran in the second attempt, but that pass was too heavy. And Balon back there. But guys, make sure you tune in later today. We have lots more action coming up on Game of Frame. 16 games in total this weekend, a lot of really high quality stuff. We're going to have another title decider in the Kospoten Soccer League Division 1, Polonia against Ukrainians. If Polonia win, they are league champions and have the option to promote to the APSL. Here comes Nyack though, it's Brian, and that was a Really good opportunity. The flag is up actually, but his first touch had been a bit sharper. He was in. We're also going to have Central Park Rangers 2 against New York International at 4 p.m. and Richmond County against the Greek Americans at 8 p.m. A critical game for Richmond as they look to avoid the relegation drop. For the Greeks, the meaning of the game just depends upon this result. If the Pancyprians win, then it does become meaningless for the Greeks and they will already be looking to the playoffs. And remember, the Greeks are the APSL national champions. The winner of the postseason playoffs in the Metropolitan will head to that. Those will be later in June and exclusively on Game and Frame. Contino gets the give and go. Brian thought he had overlapping run from Frank. It wasn't forthcoming. I think there's a bit of a debate going on amongst the Pancyprians right now with the system. I think they are sometimes finding Nyack playing through their midfield a little too easily, struggling a bit to get the numbers right. Offensively, it's worked very well for them so far. Clever touch by Ruiz. Argudo. Rosero and Holland left it for each other. Montana. Balon shepherds it out for a throw-in. There will be a Nyack throw. Overall, it's been a good last 5 minutes for Nyack, though. Had more of the possession. Can they find a bit of penetration, though, the hosts? Here's Jack Mohair. One-on-one with Woods. Woods, such a good 1v1 defender. Was patient and got contact on the ball. James Tristino, he's got a one-on-one here with Kevin Davis. He goes early across to Rosero. And cut out by Oberg, who just looked like he might have tweaked something there, Oberg, as he made the interception. He's clutching his left groin. Mende will take the corner kick. So we're past the half-hour mark here at Travers Island. An early goal. 5 minutes in by James Tristino, giving the Pancyprians the lead. Here comes the corner. It's a good one. And Tristino has struck gold again. He gives the Pancyprians the cushion lead. And they have one hand on the APSL Metropolitan League title now. Nyack are going to have to come back from 2 goals down to flip the script. Tristino timing his run perfectly. He could not fail to score from that distance. And also, what a ball in by Dennis Carmende. And Nyack having the defensive lap. That's certainly a free kick there. Nate Frankel bulldozing him over. Hope we didn't pick on the exact expletive Joe Holland used to describe Frank there. Wasn't exactly PG friendly. Fat something. Hoff. He's overplayed that a little bit. And he's still twisting and turning off. Got it back to Josh Levine after a few attempts. Kamende. Rosero's onside. Oh, for a second I thought so. I think he might have been on, but Tristino off. But Nike not stepping as a line. Tristino not happy with a comment made by Nate Frank, who's racking up a list of enemies in this game now. That's a horrendous free kick by Oberg. It could be punished. Junior Rosero gets himself half a yard. Simple save for Peter Wenzel. That's going to be a free kick. Joel and nowhere near the ball. Frank. Loose ball. Joe Holland. Junior Rosero has beaten his man. It's a 2-on-1. Surely 3. Junior Rosero has totally squandered that chance, and he had Tristino with him for a tap-in, for a hat-trick tap-in. It was a little complacent there from Rosero, I think.
I thought for sure that was going to be beautiful.
The Pancyprians probably won't live to regret it. But a really good chance. And Nike are going to be forced into an early change. Curtis Oberg is injured. Tweaked his groin intercepting a ball a few minutes ago. And it looks like Aidan Conahan will replace him. More defending for Nyack off of a corner. So many for the Pancyprians already. I think this is number 7. Joe Holland this time instead of Kamende. There'll be an outswing up towards the far post. Kamende was poaching around that back post. There'll be another corner kick. Right, just have 3 subs. Actually, maybe 4 if you include the coach, who sometimes comes on, Vasilios. I've already had to use 1 for the injury. Kamende to deliver. Not his best. Argudo. Joe Holland. Dylan Woods. And Ruiz opting to go all the way back to Josh Levine and just reset the plate. Slice. Luis Argudo. Telegraphed the switch a little bit. Contino. And some space for Jack Doran. Baylon scampers across quickly to close that down. Jake Mann. Azuma. Doran. Contino. Jake Mann, who's switched onto the right side. Whipping it in, slightly too much on the ball, but the angle was perfect. Sebastian Ruiz brings it away down the other end for the Pancyprians. Junior Rosero. The Colombian connection not quite paying off that time. Argudo. Gets it back from Hoff. Jens Hoff. Drilled out by Sloy's. Kamende bringing that down well. Argudo. Returns it to him. Good interchange. Kamende early into Joe Holland. What a pass. Joe Holland looking to flick it into James Tristino. Frank was alive to the danger. Beautiful. Intricate build-up by the Pancyprians. Holland. The flag up. Against Kamende, I think, on the return pass. Sloyes. That second goal has really knocked some of the stuffing out of Nyack. They haven't had any possession really since they went in. Tristino. The bounce just did him in. Argudo. Rosero. Kamende. Holland. Nyack's midfield too, really sitting deep on the back line. And effectively cut out the passing lanes that time. Well done by Dylan Woods to turn out of the danger. Sloyes. And Joe Holland's got some space here. Lots of space. And he's given it to good Luis Argudo. Argudo back in towards Joe Holland. Gap was there. But the final ball not quite the required quality. Tremaine Bryant. Doran. Mike Azuma practically having a hug with Ruiz, and the whistle blows. Hoff with the ball right over the top to Tristino, who was offside as he bared down for a hat-trick. Very tight. Don't think either side is particularly convinced by this linesman. All the rhythm from Nayak's possession has abandoned them at the moment. Dennis Calmende, Rosero. It's a good tackle by Conahan. Contino. Raging ball out to Bryant. Bryant. He had easier options than Contino, but tried to thread the needle. Calmende down the channel. Rosero just able to keep it in. Argudo showed too much to Mulher. Doran. Montana. Simple for Josh Levine. We're in the final minute or so of normal time in this first half. Tristino's brace in the first half an hour, giving the Pancyprians this comfortable lead. And at the moment, setting them on course to lift a second APSL Metro League title. Tristino may be in behind here again. Went off his line quickly. Joe Holland will get the rebound. He's heavy with his first touch. Even with winning the league title today, that does happen for the Pancyprians. The season is nowhere near finished. They're going to have an Amateur Cup semi-final next Sunday. We'll have that on Game and Frame. That'll be at 5 p.m. from Queens. Tristino, dancing footwork. Took a deflection. Tristino again, and of course then the Pancyprians will have the Metropolitan playoffs to look forward to. They want the national title in the APSL. That's one trophy that has eluded them through the years. Joe Holland. Good step by Jack Sloys. Rosero around the corner to Ruiz.
Smart, boys, right now, smart.
2 minutes of stoppage time, the referee's saying.
Get closer to the player, get closer.
Balon drills in towards Tristino, who's got there first. Look to backheel it to Rosero. It comes on the edge to Joe Holland. Calmende cannoned into Jake Mann. Argudo. And Holland's just, I don't know if he's catching his breath. He's hands on knees for a second. Ruiz. With a quick little elastico and a lovely outside of the football to Joe Holland. Again looking for a heel touch. Holland has gone down, holding his right leg, and that's a little concerning for the Pancyprians. They're down to 10 for now. Holland still on his knees behind Nayak's goal. Up Put up to his feet gingerly, but might see him withdrawn at half time. Not moving freely at all. Mohair. He felt as if that's a free kick. Referee disagreed and Rosero was certainly offside that time. Hoff got some of the ball, but I think Mohair feeling as if he came through the back of him to get that touch. Looked right on the borderline. And there goes the half-time whistle. James Tristino's brace giving the Pancyprians the 2-goal lead. And at the moment, it's their title to lose. Do not go in there, guys. We'll be back shortly with the second half.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game and Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Quick release for Hernandez. You know Hernandez is going to get there. Got some work to do. It's one man taking on an army, and it is Hernandez. He took on hell with a squirt gun, and he quenched the flames. Justine Nunez Hernandez, an impressive stamp on the match. Foxy. There's a shot, and K-Zune beats it away again.
About it. They don't want to let this opportunity pass without equalizing. Fake shot, fake. The third shot, low and a goal! A couple dummies and a low shot makes this game 1-1.
Right side, isn't it? Can he bend it around the wall? He's gone for it! And it's tipped over the crossbar. Lovely fingertip save by Perez. Let's see if it's enough to stop them. Joe Holland. Once again, Perez called into action.
Now trot, cross. Oh my word! What a goal! What a team goal from New York International!
Back to the captain with a lot of space. Crossed inside, using his chest. Aristotle Zazulin to the rescue. As now his defensive expertise put to the test. Diaz trying to shield the ball away from Diallo. Diallo squeezing past. Still with the assist. Goal! South Bronx United.
Ball is back into play. Beautiful work, Winder with the nutmeg.
Room to move here. This is Waring again. Waring puts it into the middle. Doggart! Doggart! They can't clear it off the line! Orson Doggart puts the finishing touch.
Shango can't quite keep it. Yo, pick it up. Dangerous area. Malachi with a shot. Beautiful save from the keeper.
Now he's on. Kamara's on sides. Kamara gets around the keeper. This could be it. Could finish. It's 2. That's the final whistle. Polonia seals the deal. In the last kick of the game. What an effort there by Kamara.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Travers Island. And a big score update from the relegation battle. Doxa at the moment are leading Manhattan Celtic 2-0, which makes the closest relegation battle in APSL history that much closer if that score holds. Doxa will be on 19 points. So at the moment, Kid Super on the bottom with 18. Richmond and Doxa on 19. Richmond still to play against the Greeks tonight. Vistula on 20. Vistula have just one game left to play. And Nyack on 21 alongside CPR. We're in for quite a final day if that score holds. But there's still a title to be decided here. The Pancyprians got the job done in the first half. Tristino's brace giving them this example, this advantage. It's going to take something special from Nyack, the lowest scorers in the league, to turn it around. But we've seen stranger things in football. Brian. Azuma. Floated over the top. Too much on it for Jake Mann. Chaslois. Hoff. Gives it back to Levine. Argudo. Dylan Woods. Argudo. Rosero. Lovely sweeping football by the Pancyprians, and Ruiz streaks towards the penalty area. Colombian just held up by Kevin Davis. Good recovery run. Ruiz is split between two red shirts, but he's been forced a long way back. And then Davis, rather needlessly after doing so much good work to push him back, took a needless swipe with Ruiz not really going anywhere at that point. And he adds his name to the book. And it's a decent crossing position for the Pancyprians. Dennis Carmende will deliver the free kick. Swings it in. Lovely ball, Hoff. I think it came off of his thigh. Didn't get any proper connection on it. Wicked ball in. Mohair. Brian. A score update from Manhattan Celtic and Doxa. It's now 2-1, so Celtic pulling one back. All the rest of the bottom five will perk up at that news. That game, I believe, kicked off at midday, so it's a little bit ahead of this one. Brent. O'Brien, excuse me. Lovely spin there by Mohair. Balon closing him down. Brian wants more. Lots of options to aim for. Delayed the cross. Montana has a shot. Not too far away from the bottom left post. A foot or so wide. Well, as comfortable as this 2-goal lead will feel for the Pancyprians, Nyack do put one back. The whole psychology of this game will change very quickly indeed. Sure, Coach Cronus wants that third just to put all doubt to bed. Ruiz, he can take on Jake Mann. Ruiz, Junior Rosero, and there is the third. And that's surely the APSL Metro League title clinched now. The Colombian connection comes good once again. Ruiz teasing his man, drilling it in low. Rosero, the right man at the right place. His third goal in 2 games. I think now at this point for Nyack, a question might be how bad is this going to get with the scoreline? Yeah, and also with the heat today and the lack of subs Nyack have. Bryant. That's a clumsy late tackle by Sloys, and he's going to be fortunate to escape a booking himself here. Referee is not going to book it. Contino whips it in. I think he was going on frame. Would have had to have been really special to beat Josh Levine all over the crossbar. And guys, reminder, we've got another title decider coming up on Game and Frame directly after this one. If Polonia beat the Ukrainians, they will lift the Metropolitan Soccer League Division 1 title, and they'll have the option, if they want, to try and promote to the APSL, the Metropolitan Division. That'll be 2 p.m. live from McCarran Park. We're also going to have New York International, who are waiting in the wings should Polonia falter. That'll be at 4 p.m. They take on Central Park Rangers too, and then 8 p.m. Richmond County against the Greek Americans. For Richmond, the game is going to mean everything for their survival, particularly if Doxa hold on to the lead against Celtic. For the Greeks, the game is rendered effectively meaningless if this scoreline here holds, given them and Lansdowne are locked in as the 2 and 3rd seed for the Metropolitan playoffs. Ruiz. Josh Levine. Sloys. Hoff. Argudo. Give and go with Tristino. Ruiz and Junior Rosero gets it a second time. Couldn't see from here if that was a save by Wenzel or it was actually a block by the defender. Either way, Rosero just pointed not to double his tally. Coach Cronus is preparing a triple substitution, it looks like. Cedar Bugsy, Lonka and Moreno all stripped down. Balon. Tristino. I think said he got confused actually by one of the Pancyprian substitutes who had just stripped down. Thought it was Sebastian Ruiz. And here comes the changes. The Colombians. Rosero and Ruiz replaced Dylan Woods as well. Ricard Cederberg will be on at right centre back. Zilonka goes into the front two. Alongside Tristino. Actually, excuse me, Dylan Woods has stayed on. He's pushed up onto the right wing back. So I think the third sub still is to be made. Here's one of them, Zilonka. Ball escaped him. Chris Huakon is going to be introduced for Nyack. He's going to come on for Jake Mann. Jordan Balon. Joe Holland. The Pancyprians can attribute a couple of key factors to the title win. Let's just hang on for a second as Tristino goes in behind. Don't forget he's on a hat-trick, but one of the biggest factors is the Pancyprians' record against everyone outside of the top three has been near flawless. They've dropped just 2 points against everyone outside the top three. And then against the top three, or actually top four, including Manhattan Celtic, really key moments in the games they came through. They scored 3 goals in stoppage time in games against the top three. Against the other top four. So the three teams, the other three teams in the top four. So they scored 3 goals in games against them that earned them a point or a victory. And that's really been the margin of difference. Jens Hoff's 95th minute equaliser against Lansdowne and Full. McGiff's 96th minute winner against Manhattan Celtic. And Devin Heenu's 100th minute equaliser, and famous 100th minute equaliser against the Greeks. That's a lovely set down by Tristino, and Joe Holland has hit the post. Can't quite believe his eyes. Tristino onto Dylan Woods. Towards the far post. Scott Enneman is preparing to come on. Joe Holland. Mohet. Cederberg policing it well. Dylan Woods. Argudo. Joe Holland, who had pulled up at the end of that first half with a little injury, but he's moved freely enough in the second half. Argudo. Joe Holland, not enough behind that dink. And he has just pulled up a little gingerly there again, Holland. At this point, they really should sub him off, save him for another day. Brian stepped on the ball. Zielonka. Joe Holland. And that was a tame enough shot into the hands of Wenzel. Sloy's losing it. And it's a deflection on Doran's corner kick. It came off of Dylan Woods, and it'll be a corner kick. And Enman has come on for Brian, and it looks as if Pondrakis is going to be introduced imminently too.
Somebody go! Guys, it's 3-0, somebody go! Aiden, go!
Fired in, and a header by Kevin Davis, excuse me. Decent chance there, but couldn't meet it.
Coach, send the ball, man. Come on. Let's kick a ball over there. It's in the parking lot.
And Hondrakis will come on at centre forwards. And it's Jack Duran who made way for him. Calmende. Still with it. Towards that far post gathered. Simply enough by Wenzel, but an awful clearance, and Lewis Argudo is going to go for a spective lob. We've seen him score from further out than that. But about a foot over the crossbar. And Joe Holland will be withdrawn. He's going to add yet another trophy to his long career. 33 years old now, Joe Holland. And Moreno looks like he's going to have a straight switch. He's going to be in the number 10 position with Joe Holland. Dennis Calmende. All the way back to Levine. Dylan Woods. Tristino returns it to Dylan Woods. And Tristino again cannoned off of Conan. Some half-hearted APSL fan ball. Tristino has had a few chances to steal the hat-trick. It's still eluding him. Well, guys, I want to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Salt Athletic, who are offering the Game and Frame community an incredible discount on the Air Case of 10% if you scan the QR code. Air Case is a magnetically sealing bag that kills odour with antimicrobial technology, can fit your cleats and your shin guards. It's a brilliant product. A big thank you to them for supporting the Game and Frame broadcast in the 24-25 season. Beautiful switch out to Dylan Woods. He can have a go at Huakon. Skips past him. They're queuing up. They want a fourth. Zielonka. Tristino setting it back. Calmende onto his left foot. Wild and high. That's Lois. Calmende back to Jordan Bailon. Tristino, he's got a little bit of space, poking it on. Tristino, lovely touch. James Tristino gets it back. What a goal this would be. Just the finish is lacking. Test me. That would have been a splendid way to tie the knot on James Tristino's hat-trick. Made that chance all by himself. It's going to be an in-swinging ball towards that near post, punched out by Wenzel. Mohet in a one-on-one duel with Dylan Woods, and it's getting increasingly tasty, that duel. And Mohet getting the whistle blown up on him. Argudo. Jordan Bailon. Tristino. Zielonka. Managed to wriggle through a tackle. Dylan Woods. Now, players looking like they just want that full-time whistle now. It feels more like an exhibition game at this point. Here's Jack Mohet. Couldn't find the feet of Hondrakis, and Argudo still has running in the legs. Josh Levine, who's had another very quiet afternoon. Woods with lots of space. Kevin Davis. James Tristino, will he finally get that hat-trick? He's tackled fairly. It was certainly a crunching tackle. I think it's Frank who's down, struggling from that. And guys, reminder, if you're enjoying this broadcast, give us a follow on @Game&Frame. We'll have clips on this match and much, much more. Goal of the month, save of the month, competitions. You get our most updated schedules up there. About over 5,000 followers now on Instagram. Really grateful for everyone's support across the Northeast as we continue to be lucky enough to cover so many brilliant clubs and leagues in the pre-professional amateur academy soccer scene. Here's Scott Edmund, floating a decent ball towards Andrakis, but Hoff meeting it like a steam train. Pancyprians are chasing an 11th clean sheet in the league this season. It's over the half the games. And actually I was talking earlier about factors that have led to them winning this league title, and the defence has been a huge part. Only 16 goals conceded. The next best is the Greek Americans, who conceded 26. So quite some distance. Pancyprians have had the strongest back line. I think Nike are going to be forced to make another change. Someone had limped off. I'm not sure who it was. They're back on now temporarily. It looks like it was perhaps Frank, who's struggling. So the player coach, Vasilios Dimopoulos, will get his usual cameo. 15 or so minutes to remain, a little bit more than that. Jens Hoff does really well. And Dimopoulos is going to come on. Let's see who it is who's going off. And actually, no, I think it might have been someone else who threw in that tackle on Tristino, who's gone off injured. Might even be Chris Huicon who went off. Dimopoulos is now slotted in to the centre-back. And he's going to be tested immediately by James Tristino, who cuts onto his left. Tristino, wild effort, well over the crossbar. And Luis Argudo will be replaced by Samir Fathazada. Dylan Woods. That ball's moving. As Montana tried to take the free kick. It'll be taken again. And that was moving again. Like having a little trouble keeping the ball still. Frankel. Emmen try not to give up on it. Jack Sloys. Commander couldn't force his way past Frank. He was a little incredulous not to get the free kick. Oh, sorry, the throw-in. And confirming it was Chris Huick who's off. Unfortunately, the sub having to be replaced. Jarred his knee, sounds like, as he put in that well-timed tackle on Tristino. Zilonka. Lovely ranging ball, just slightly overhit perhaps for Tristino. He's going to retrieve it. Tristino across the 6-yard box, and Jack Sloys had ventured up, looking to get in on the action. Still waiting for his first league goal of the season. Sloys. Davis. It's a good tackle by Cederberg. Dylan Woods. Connor and clearing. It just needed a touch there. As Ilonka hadn't gambled. Cederberg. Zilonka. Tristino. It's a good header to Dylan Woods. Sloys. Kalmende. Tried to cut between two defenders. He's going to come on the edge to Jordan Baylon, who's caught that one decently. But it's always rising. That ball just run out. With about 10 minutes left to play. All the heat out of the game, and it's been out of the game for quite some time once that third goal went in. Pancyprian's cruising now to the league title. But again, they have still a lot on the wish list this season. Starting with the Amateur Cup semi-final next week against Lansdowne, which will be streaming 5 p.m. from Queens. And then they'll have the Metropolitan playoffs, and they'll, of course, want to win that. They win that, they'll go to the APSL National Final Four, and that's really the biggest target for them this season. It's the trophy that has eluded them. They made the final and lost it in 2022. In 2023, they lost that final to Nova, and then in 2023 they lost in the semis on penalties. Just here is James Tristino on a hat-trick, and he has it. A hat-trick for James Tristino. A title-winning hat-trick. And no one deserves it more. He's put in a great shift this afternoon. He's had a terrific season. And he has to be patient for that one. Tristino. He was looking for a run in behind by Zilonka, which wasn't forthcoming. Montana. Cederberg defending him well, but then overrunning it. Jordan Balin's lost it. And it's still 2-1 to Doxa. There's about 3 minutes remaining there. They're facing Manhattan Celtic. Manhattan Celtic already guaranteed to make the Metropolitan playoffs for the first time in their history. But for Doxa, who started today bottom of the table, this 3 points could be absolutely priceless. It doesn't guarantee the survival. They're going to play Kid Super on the final day. Kid Super are on 18 points. Doxa will be on 19. And those two will battle it out to decide who is automatically relegated. That's a lovely ball to Nicholas Zilonka. Zilonka still. Finish was tame. Yeah, it's off. That's just hoofed out by Sloys. Conan. Cederberg. Dylan Woods. A reminder, guys, we've got another title decider coming up on Game of Frame directly after this one. Polonia just need 3 points against Ukrainians to win the CSL D1 title. Dylan Woods is in behind here. He's got lots of time. He's got Zilonka, and the Pancyprians have got 5. It's turning into quite the party here at Travers Island for the about to be crowned league champions. And news is going to get even better from a Pancyprian perspective. Their old foes Doxa have just been drawn level 2-2. So Doxa, right at the death, have squandered a 2-goal lead. That leaves them rooted bottom of the table. They can still dig their way out by beating Kid Super on the final day. But that is a massive development in the relegation battle, and one that Richmond County and Vistula Garfield will cheer. If that score holds, that would now guarantee that Richmond County cannot be automatically relegated. And in fact, actually, Yeah, I think so. The maths is just getting so complicated here with the head-to-heads. But yes, it would. If it finishes a draw for Doxa, it would guarantee Richmond cannot be automatically relegated because Kids Super and Doxa play on the final day. Richmond could still potentially be on the hook for a relegation playoff because Kids Super have the head-to-head. So if Doxa and Kids Super draw on the final day, that would potentially drop Richmond into that. But of course, Richmond County have their game this evening against the Greek Americans. And if Richmond did get a point against the Greeks tonight, that would now mean they would be guaranteed with a point tonight to be entirely safe from relegation, because they have the head-to-head on Doxa. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that math is not right. Richmond is still, even with a point, they still could be in danger, I think, of getting into that bottom two. It's just so many permutations at this point. Losing track. And I promise you, I studied a lot last night to try and figure out exactly the scenarios, but there's just so many with the amount of teams involved. Here comes Jack Mohair whipping in, looking for a late consolation goal for Nyack, and that was a peach of a ball in. They had 4 teammates all jumping in to make contact. No one could do it. Dylan Woods. See Lonka, or Moreno even, excuse me, steaming behind. Moreno still looking to serve Zilonka a second on the platter. Tristino, he's put that one into orbit. That was a little bit wild there, the tackle by Hondrakis. His foot went off the ground, I think, more than anything because he slipped, but I'm not surprised the referee didn't blow the whistle. Contino. Dylan Woods. Tristino, these last few minutes, nothing more than a formality. Moreno. Zilonka. That's a clever ball. Tristino. Well policed by Kevin Davis. Really good defending by Davis. Give and go in the middle. That's really well played. Hondrakis, and Lavina's called us into action, and that's the mark of a top goalkeeper there. Can have almost nothing to do the entire game, and then when he's called upon, makes a save. Tristino. Slade. All the way back to Josh Levine. Cederberg. And there is the full-time whistle. The Pancyprian Freedoms clinch their second APSL Metropolitan League title. It ended up being a comfortable win on the afternoon. But what a battle it's been this season for them to lift it. Certainly the toughest competition yet in the APSL Metropolitan division. The Pancyprians were near flawless against teams outside of the top 3, and against their rivals in the big moments, they came up good. Guys, stick around. We are going to have some post-match interviews and maybe more, we'll see. Not sure if there's going to be a trophy celebration or not, or if it's going to be on the final date. But one way or the other, we're going to have interviews, so don't go anywhere, guys. And also, just a reminder, we're going to have that title battle, Polonia against Ukrainians. It's probably just kicked off. If Polonia win that, then they are the Division 1 champions. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back shortly with post-match reaction here. Pancyprians getting ready there for their team picture. What an amazing achievement. As the league champions. And look at the smiles after all the work. They are finally league champions. Yeah, team photo. Well, there we go. The league champions. Coach, we got you live. Okay. Congratulations, JB, we're good. So, firstly, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been a long campaign, started in September. Today was relatively comfortable, but there were so many games where difficult battles. You know, I think I said to you a few days ago, this has definitely been the highest level across the board for the league. Yeah. What has been the key for you guys to win this league title?
I think just consistency in the way that we play and the way that we want to approach games. We change the way that we play every game, and I think we've evolved as a team throughout the season. And the boys, obviously, they're just their commitment to the team, the board, the staff, the technical team being able to bring in different players to help fill in specific spots that we need. And honestly,
James Tristino hits the target again today. He's got his hat trick, and he's also just got the coach with a very icy. I have to say, there's a lot of ice in this. You're gonna have a few bruises from that. He might come out of today's game the most bruised man at this point. So yeah, consistency is big for you guys. I mean, there were some key moments this season against the other top 4 sides. I counted there's 3 games where you guys scored a goal in stoppage time and got a point or 3, and that's really been a big part. And how important do you think your just never say die attitude has been this season?
Yeah, I mean, we're relentless. I think it's one of our best qualities. We just don't stop. We never stop going. And yeah, like you said, if we didn't believe, then this league title would have not been ours. So sometimes you have to get a little lucky, of course. And we played against some great teams. But again, I think we showed throughout the season that the quality that we have and the style of play is I think above everyone else.
You guys played the 3-5-2, and you said to me before it's really about overloading night, taking the game to them early. You guys, you did that. You had such a good start. How did you feel overall from your perspective? Everything just went technically, and do you feel like your guys played the system how you wanted?
Yeah, look, I think it's tough when you implement a new system because it's something that we changed, starting with when we played FC Cincinnati for the Open Cup. We changed the way that we played, and we kind of went into that 3-5-2 for those games, and I think we showed a lot of success doing that. We changed it again when we played Westchester in the Open Cup. Again, very successful. We did it against Lansdowne, very successful. Not saying that this is the only way we're going to play, but we have found success with the key pieces that we have to play this way and be successful.
Finally, you've got a league title in the cabinet, but the season is by no means over. You've got a lot more on the wish list.
Yep.
Starting with an Amateur Cup semi-final against Lansdowne next weekend, and then of course you want to also go on and win the APSL national title. What is going to be the key for you guys in what's going to be a very busy next 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, just to stay healthy, honestly, just to nurse some injuries, stay healthy, and the mentality needs to stay locked in because obviously we're not satisfied. We're never satisfied. This is great, but we have to keep going. We have a lot of things that we want to accomplish this season.
Well, Coach, congratulations on winning the league title in your inaugural season. Incredible achievement.
Thank you.
We'll try and grab someone in a second.
Yep.
But yeah, congratulations. And I hope you can brought some dry clothes.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Guys, we'll be back in just a moment. We'll see if we can get ourselves some players as well. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, I'm here with hat-trick hero James Tristino. Just scored a 4th one on Cronus, getting a lot of ice on him, and then we've got Jack Sloys as well. And mentioned this in the broadcast, this was 11th clean sheet in the league for the Pancyprians, that's been a huge part. Jack, what do you think has been the key for your guys' defensive performances this season?
I think it's just having like really good chemistry. I mean, like the camaraderie amongst the group is excellent, but when it comes to defending, it's really just about having that chemistry and staying like at one cohesive unit. And I think we've been solid all year, like covering each other, a lot of communication, and then obviously like kudos to Josh too, and that like he's been amazing all season.
James, you've been with this side for a long time now. What does it mean to lift a second league title?
Oh yeah, it's obviously great. It's always a great feeling with these guys lifting any type of trophy, but obviously the league is just the first in itself. We have a lot more to come. It's just getting started really, but it's great.
Fantastic. Joe, you've been in a lot of Pancyprian sides as well, a lot of different iterations. Do you think this is maybe the best Pancyprian side yet?
I think in terms of the squad depth, yeah, and I think also what Jack said is true. Togetherness is very much there with us. I think that's why every week we come with a tempo. We play together, we play for each other. I think that's the most important thing about this team.
James mentioned you guys have got a lot more on the wish list this season. A semi-final against Lansdowne in the Amateur Cup next week, and then you're going to have the APSL Metro playoffs. Only trophy I think the Pancyprians don't have in their cabinet is an APSL national title. Jack, what do you think is going to be the key for the next month, which is going to be full of really big winner-takes-all games?
No, I think we just got to keep playing our game, like not get sucked into what the opponents are doing. Just keep like being true to ourselves and playing our game. Again, staying together, staying organized, disciplined, and then finish our chances when we get them, and then prevent them from scoring. Simple as that.
James, are these the games that you live for, the ones coming up? These are the sort of games you live for as a player?
Oh yeah, for sure. These are always my favorite type of games. Always the rivalry games are the biggest. Lansdowne especially, and then obviously coming to the APSL playoffs, it could be either Greeks or Lansdowne, and realistically either one of those games are just as big as the other.
Joe, it's been a battle this season. It always is in the APSL. It's a long, grueling campaign. How important is the squad depth going to be for you guys in the next month when the games come thick and fast?
Yeah, I think like you said, this season was tough. I think overall the quality this year is the best I've seen overall from top to bottom. I don't think there's any really weak teams, and like today, these boys were very good for the first 35 minutes in particular. So I think for us, like Jack said, it's about playing our game. It's about every single player coming prepared. If we come in the right attitude, doesn't matter who we play. We'll turn up, we play with that tempo that we know we can. We don't really care who we're playing.
Fantastic. Well, guys, congratulations on the victory. It's been amazing for you guys this season. We're looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, guys. All right. Enjoy your celebrations tonight, guys. Take care. All right, guys. Well, that just about does it for us here at Nyack Travers Island. The Pancyprian Freedoms clinching their second APSL league title, and so much more to look forward to. A semi-final next week in the Amateur Cup against Lansdowne Yonkers, and then, of course, the APSL Metro playoffs, and the Pancyprians hope beyond that, the APSL Nationals. A big thank you to the Pancyprians for bringing us down here today, and of course for the entire season. It's been another brilliant campaign. We're looking forward to the next few games. Big thank you to Salt Athletic, our sponsor. Thank you to JP Socato for doing great work behind the camera, as always. Guys, thank you for watching. And reminder, we've got lots more action coming up on Game of Frame. You can see our full schedule on Instagram. We've got some great games the rest of the day. Right now, Polonia against Ukrainians. Polonia looking to lift the Division 1 title in the Metropolitan Soccer League. They just need victory. We're going to have Richmond County against the Greeks. That's going to be a massive relegation decider. We've got MPSL, much more. Make sure you tune in, guys. But thanks for tuning in to this one. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Take care.